Frederick Drew Gregory, African-American astronaut, born 1941, still alive today, as of April 27th, 2022. In 1985, Frederick Drew Gregory became only the second black astronaut in space, the first having been Colonel Guion Guy Bluford in 1983. Gregory, who flew the Space Shuttle Challenger, was also the first black space shuttle pilot. In his later work as a safety administrator for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, he redesigned the shuttle cockpit and assisted in the development of revolutionary landing technology. Frederick Drew Gregory was born on January 7, 1941, in Washington, D.C., the son of Francis and Nora Drew Gregory. Through his mother, he was nephew to the renowned African-American blood plasma specialist Charles Drew. He attended Anacostia High School and later entered the United States Air Force Academy. Graduating from the academy in 1964 with a B.S. degree, Gregory entered the Air Force pilot training program. He earned certification as a pilot, and in 1965 as a helicopter pilot. In 1968, he received training as a fighter pilot and began flying F-4 Phantoms. He attended the United States Naval Test Pilot School and following his graduation in 1971, received an assignment as a research and engineering test pilot. This continued until 1974, when NASA asked Gregory to come to work as a test pilot for them. He continued in this role for several years, during which time he earned his MSA in Information Systems from George Washington University in 1977. In 1978, NASA selected him as an astronaut candidate. Gregory began his astronaut training in the summer of 1978, and completing a one-year training and evaluation cycle in August of the following year. In 1983, Bluford became the first black man in space, but Gregory's opportunity was not far behind. On April 29, 1985, NASA launched mission STS-51B of the Space Shuttle Challenger from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Gregory served as pilot on the flight, which returned to Earth a week later, on May 6. Thus, he was not only the second black astronaut in space, but the first black pilot of a space shuttle. Gregory flew several other missions with the space shuttle in the late 1980s and early 1990s. He also became NASA's Associate Administrator of its Office of Safety and Mission Assurance at the Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. In his capacity as a safety administrator, Gregory redesigned the space shuttle cockpit and worked with a team that developed an innovative landing system that utilized microwave instrumentation. The Bendix Aircraft Company has adapted this technology, which it predicts will be used after the year 2000 to facilitate landing of planes without pilots. Gregory's expertise has also been called upon in studies of NASA's safety and the viability of continuing joint American and Russian missions through the combined NASA and MER programs. Gregory has received numerous honors and awards in his career. NASA has awarded him its Outstanding Leadership Award, Distinguished Service Medal, 3 Space Medals, and 2 NASA Spaceflight Medals. The Air Force awarded him its Defense Superior Service Medal, 2 Distinguished Flying Crosses, the Meritorious Service Medal, the Air Force Commendation Medal, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, 16 Air Medals, and the Air Force Association Era Eager Fellowship. In addition, he has earned the Distinguished National Scientist Award from the National Society of Black Engineers, 1979, the Top 20 Minority Engineers Award, 1990, the George Washington University Distinguished Alumni Award, and an honorary degree from the University of the District of Columbia. Among the professional, academic, and civic organizations to which he belongs are the American Helicopter Society, the Association of Space Explorers, the National Technical Association, Omega Psi Phi, Sigma Pi Phi, the Society of Experimental Test Pilots, the Tuskegee Airmen, the United States Air Force Academy Association of Graduates, and the Young Astronaut Council of the National Capital Area Boy Scouts Board of Directors. Gregory married Barbara Ann Archer on June 3, 1964, and they have 2 children, Frederick D. Gregory, Jr. and Heather Lynn Gregory Skeens. His son followed in his father's career path, becoming an officer in the Air Force, working at the Johnson Space Center. Among Gregory's avocational interests are water and snow skiing. The Gregorys live in Washington, D.C. Citations are in the description.